Knows Best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Friday. Y'all, I literally just posted an Instagram story and I was telling you about the fortune teller. Instead of starting from last week, we'll get there. I want to talk about this right now because it's so fresh in my brain and I have to tell you guys. Okay, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I went to this YouTube creator event last night, which, am I big on YouTube? No, but they reached out. It's essentially like, obviously they must be a subgroup of YouTube and they're trying to obviously do these like YouTube creator events and really like, I think probably just get a lot of promotion and like reactivation around YouTube, because if I had to guess, obviously TikTok is like the number one app, Instagram closely following, or maybe it has more users, but like everybody's on TikTok, everybody's on Instagram. And I feel like YouTube has fallen off because long form has fallen off. And obviously they've had shorts now for a while, just like Instagram got reels, but I think it's still so different. Like I feel like YouTube shorts is like Carter, for example, or like kids. I feel like it's like grown men use shorts or like little kids. Which I don't know what makes me think that, just because the only people that I know that use YouTube shorts are literally Carter and then the nanny kids that I used to nanny, obviously. But anyways, they invited me to this event a few months ago, whatever, I RSVP, and it's at Marie Gabrielle Garden and Restaurant. Actually, I told you guys that Carter got this mentor recently. This place that I went, like, it's a garden situation. Okay, let me explain. I go, I drive, I park, I hit ground level. The parking is underground. I go up and then you walk into the lobby. And what I think is you're in the lobby of a building and this building is the law firm, or the law firm is in this building that the founder or the partner or the whatever that's mentoring Carter, it's that law firm. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, right. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Anywho, I walk into the lobby and it's all blocked off. And this Gabrielle Marie, I've known of this venue because people have weddings here. And I know I've never been to one there, but I've seen photos and like heard other people talking about weddings. And I'm sure it's so fucking expensive. Hello, I'm sure it's so expensive. But I digress. I walk into the lobby, you go check in, and then you go into this room. So there's like this big sort of long room, and then there are these doors that open up into the garden area. So basically all the doors open up. There's a pool right in the middle, and then around it is like they've got a tent over here. And for this event, you know, they always have like food. It was from like 6 to 9. And so there's like food stations everywhere and drink stations and photo sections and whatever. And it was done up amazing. Okay, so I get there. I go and grab a little mocktail. It was like a pineapple something or other. And then I go and sit down and introduce myself to these girls. I don't know. I said, hi, I don't know anybody here. I'm not recognizing anybody. Who the fuck are you? Nice to meet you. And they were so sweet and so kind. And then we got in line to go do this photo thing, which like, I'm not really there to take photos, which I understand like that's kind of what these things are for. But for my content specifically, I hate taking photos. Like I'm not good at it. I don't know how to pose, like especially when it comes to like the beauty. Like this YouTube creator one was definitely more like personalities and like I don't know, not that traditional like fashion and beauty influencers aren't personality, but like for example when I went to the Steve Madden, like I keep thinking back to that because it was my very first one. Like girls have the lights and they're posing and they're walking and they're videoing. Like that's just not me, point blank, period, as a human being. Oh my gosh, really quickly, can you guys hear the rain? It just started storming. It's been storming since yesterday morning. We woke up to like a crazy thunderstorm. I know this is supposed to pass. I didn't think this was going to hit us, but this afternoon it's supposed to storm really badly, which I actually have an event tonight with Pro Lash. And I'm so pissed because they're having it at the Jewel, and the Jewel in Dallas, it's a hotel, but like It's a hotel downtown, and any hotel downtown, like, of course there's restaurants within it. And then the Jewel actually has a spa that anybody can go to. Obviously, people that are staying at the hotel can go there as well. But like a person like you and I can go. Well, not a person like you and I. I think the fucking spa is like $1,000. I only say that because when I worked at the Pilates studio, there was this instructor, Natalie, who I need to reach out to. Not my best friend, Natalie, who I also met there, but this other Natalie who was amazing. And she was telling me for her 30th birthday, this was like quite a few years back now, that her mom, and I'm pretty sure she was from Highland Park and they must have been rich because her lifestyle was crazy and she was like a Pilates instructor. Nothing really added up. And therefore, she said that her mom gifted her like a whole thing at the spa. And they do like massages and facials. And I'm sure there are multiple different packages and things that you can do. But it was like over $1,000. She's like, yeah, I've had this like gift card or whatever from my mom. And I figured, why not do it on my 30th birthday? And I'm like, that's amazing. I will go there maybe when I have the cashola in quite a few years. But anywho, the Jewel. So right next to the Jewel downtown is like similar to what I was just talking about. They have this huge green grassy area. And then you guys, they have this art sculpture and it's an eyeball, like a 30-foot tall eyeball, 30 feet. People. And the only reason I know this is when I was doing the run vlogs back in the day, which I'm still doing them now. Hello. But last year when I was doing them, I ran downtown and I was kind of making it apart to like show Dallas. And I ran to the eyeball and I showed it. And then I wanted to talk about it. So I Googled it. And I learned that it's 30 feet tall, but it's like creepy. It's just sitting on the grass. Like it's just like a literal eyeball on the grass. I'm going to try and take a photo tonight, but the problem is it's storming and I'm pretty sure we were going to go do yoga on the lawn in front of the eyeball. And that's so fucking sick. And the thing is, you guys, it's in the heart of downtown. So it's like tall buildings, everything. And there's just like this huge area and it actually has a fence around it because I'm sure to protect it and like not just like anybody and their dogs and moms and kids can just like run around. So it's sectioned off, I think, for events and that sort of thing. I've gone to it, but I've never been on the grassy area. Like I've never actually gone in the Jewel. And I'm not sure if even if you're in the Jewel, you can go out onto the lawn, but I've been standing outside of the fence just to like see it. You know what I'm saying? But the event tonight is supposed to be there. And of course, they're like, if it's raining, no biggie, we'll be inside. But I'm like, it kind of is a fucking biggie because I want to be by the eyeball. I want to be next to that thing. I want to be standing next to it and look up at it. And I also learned that the artist that made it, he's not from Dallas. I don't remember where he was from, but he did it of his own eyeball. I'm like, I mean, I guess like, if I were an artist, I would do my own eyeball too. I'd be like, yeah, I got that shit in Dallas. But I'm also like, that's crazy. You could have done like JFK. You could have done his eyeball. He did die here. I don't know. Anywho, let's go back to the Marie Gabrielle. Basically, amazing, whatever, got it. I like speak to these girls and then we're standing in line and I meet these other people and I'm saying hello and saying whatever and we're talking about content and doing the whole thing. And eventually I like branch off. Like there's so much going on and like people like couple up. I don't like to do that. I don't want to be stuck with somebody. I want to like do my own thing and meet other people because I also feel like when you just like latch on to somebody, you kind of like stop going to other people and like I want to meet people, like I want to chit chat. So I break off, I like walk around, you know, I walk up to the stand and I'm always like, this is crazy. Like the cookies and the food was insane. They had like little sliders and then over here I got salmon and potatoes and so on and so forth. Okay, let's get to the fortune teller. In the back corner, okay, of one of the tents, it's like it was really weird and very confusing, but they had this little section where you get tea and there's a woman working it. Like you cannot grab it yourself. And then there are 3 tables. Each table has a fortune teller. And then there are 3 seats at the table. And like they obviously filled up. When I first went over there, they were empty. It was just confusing because we got there. They didn't have the doors open to the garden right away. They kind of did like a big introduction where they spoke on a microphone and just said like, welcome, hi. And then they opened the doors and then you could go out. But we were in this stupid fucking line to take photos. And I'm like, I don't even want to take these photos, but I made these friends and I wasn't going to leave them now. We'd been standing in the line for like so long and we were close to the front. Anywho, I make it over there and I do a few laps and I'm chit-chatting and so on and so forth. And then I grab some food and I'm like, wait, I want to do this fortune teller. So I walk over there and this is what you do. You go up to the lady with the tea. Okay. Or like, basically what I noticed was like two of those hot, you know, like what coffee is typically in at like a diner or like at an event, the big silver, like huge thing. It had hot water in there, obviously, but you get into this line and I was behind a few people and I get up and you order and she's like, you have gray tea, citrus, raspberry. There are like 5 options. She's like, which would you like? And I said citrus. And she fills my cup of tea and she said, okay, you can go sit if there's an open spot. If not, wait. But drink your tea, but don't drink it all. You have to leave a little bit at the bottom, but they'll help you. Like the people at the table will help you once you get there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. I go and sit and there's one empty chair. And so basically the one like on the far left is like closest to the fortune teller, and then there's a middle and then the end, and you kind of just shuffle down. So somebody was talking to the fortune teller, there's a person on deck, and then I sat there and I asked this girl, you know, I obviously introduced myself, but I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What do I do? And she's like, okay, you just drink and then leave a little bit, because the fortune teller, what she does is you leave a little bit of this tea and then she's gonna put, okay, the tea is in a little cup on a plate, and then there's a napkin and then your cup. And so you drink the tea, and then once you get to the fortune teller, she's going to take the cup, you move the cup off of the tiny little plate and the napkin. She keeps the napkin on the plate. She puts that on top of the teacup, and then you tip it over, and then she takes off the cup, and the little bit of tea that you had in there, she's like reading whatever the tea on the napkin is. Do you gather what the fuck I'm saying? Basically, this reading is like how the tea lands on the napkin. I feel like I need to make a disclaimer, which this is going to be shocking to nobody. I don't believe in psychics or fortune tellers or anything, but that's why I had to do it. I'm like, I'm dying to see what this woman says, right? Well, there was one man and then 2 women. Obviously, I don't believe in this shit. Okay. And if you do, that's fine. I don't. We all believe in different things. Okay. So basically that's the situation. So anyways, we're sitting there. I'm talking to this girl, and then the one girl leaves, and then that girl moves over. She does it. And then a guy sits next to me and he's asking me, cause like it kind of, the lady didn't really explain at the tea station. Like it wasn't very clearly defined, like what the fuck. And so I explained it to him, and then we were chatting, and then it was my turn. And this lady's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. And I mean that so kindly. And she actually said that about herself. Okay. So I can say that. But anyways, oh my gosh. I'm dead. This shit was like too much. And I'm of course like playing the part. I'm like looking deeply into her eyes. I'm like excited. I'm like, yes. There were literally, you guys, like there was one girl like crying. Like I saw her crying, like the fortune. I'm like, be so fucking for real. You know what I equate it to, which we're going to talk about? Astrology. Like, here's the thing, or tarot card readers. Like, you know how apparently there are tarot card readers on FYP pages, like they do it online? Because I get a common comment on my page, and like when I do the tough love, like so many girls will be like, oh, that's not what the tarot card reader told me. Which like, oh, if you believe that stuff, amazing. But it's like, you believe what you want to believe. And this is why I equate it to astrology, because obviously I don't believe in astrology either. I'm not saying obviously because it's the wrong thing. I'm just saying, you guys know me. I'm cynical. I'm practical. I'm realistic. Like, I don't believe in woo woo things. But here is the thing. Okay, let me back up. I kind of believe in manifestation, but not in the way of like, oh, the universe. Like, I think that here's what I believe. Your thoughts create your reality. What you believe in your head becomes your reality and is true for you. Like, here is the thing. Whatever you're telling yourself, like there can be something that's like not necessarily true. What's a good example? Like astrology. If you believe in astrology and you tell yourself that that is legit and like that is that and you believe it to a T, like that is true for you. Like, I don't think that's like wrong. I don't believe it, but like, I think that is your reality. And you really deeply believe that people are like whatever their fucking astrology is. Like, our minds are so powerful. And that's why I believe in manifestation. Like, I don't believe that, like, Brenna, rein it in. Well, I believe that, like, yes, there is a universe, like things happen, but like that is just life. Oh my God, it's like the freaking butterfly effect trend going on. And I made a video about this. Everybody's like, the butterfly effect, because if I hadn't started that job and met my husband at my job, we wouldn't be married. It's like, that's cause and effect. And that is life. Again, I hate to be so like, I don't think it's negative. I think I'm just realistic, but it's like, y'all, like that's just how life works. Like, I think things just happen and things play out, and like that is that. And that's how manifestation is. But I do believe, because manifestation, I really don't know the ins and outs like deeply. And that's why like I kind of believe it, but like I'm not like manifesting my life. But I do believe that like if you think good things and you work hard, I think you make things happen for yourself. But that's like what manifestation is. It's like, yes, every day if you're telling yourself like, I'm going to get that job, or I'm going to find the love of my life, and I'm going to do this, you're thinking that, which your thoughts are your reality. And then you're going out and you're making choices based on that. Like if you're looking to get a new job or you're looking to make friends, like you're going to go put yourself in different situations and meet people and network. And then, yeah, that will happen for yourself, but because you're doing the things. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm losing you guys. Let's get back to my tea reading. Okay, so she plops the tea over and she goes, oh, wow, like this is interesting. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay, we'll start with like the, we'll get into the good. We'll start with the not so good. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, you've recently had to set a boundary with somebody, and in like the past year or so you've had to create some boundaries, and that's really hard for you, and like it's not an easy thing, but you have to do what's best for you. And making these boundaries, like it's hard in the moment, but it pays off in the long run, and you're finally like standing up for yourself. And I'm like, okay, well, that is like the most basic fucking thing I've ever heard. You could say that to anybody right now, and like somebody would be like, yeah, I have had to set a boundary. Like looking back, oh my gosh, I come home and I tell Carter, and he's like, you don't have a single problem setting boundaries. Like you actually have no problem setting boundaries. And I'm like, wow, I love that you think that, because I do agree. Like it's not easy, but it's not easy for anybody. But that's so funny. Carter's perception of me, whereas like my own perception. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, we're starting off easy. Like, sure, I can't really pinpoint one, but yeah, I'm like constantly creating boundaries with people. I feel like you just have to. But anyways, and I'm like, yeah, yep. And she goes, and she's like, you're engaged, right? You're recently engaged. And I'm like, what the fuck gave it away? This big rock on my finger or what? And she didn't like look at the ring on my finger, but obviously she saw it at some point. I'm like, yes. And she's like, oh, this is like real. This is like your true love. And she's like, actually, I'm picking up that you didn't really want kids before. You were unsure about wanting kids, but he is very like fatherly and gives off like the energy of like he really wants to be a father. And like that has pushed you to want kids. And I'm like, holy fuck. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, now I'm locked in. I'm like, that's crazy, because that's true. That's true. Like I never knew if I wanted to have kids. And then I met Carter. I'm like, oh my God, like he does, but he also is like the best partner. Therefore I want kids. You all know this, like with Carter. And I'm like, okay, give it to me. Oh, her name was Sunny. I said, Sunny, I'm loving what I'm hearing. And she's like, I'm not sure, but I'm picking up that you guys will have 2 kids, and you guys know I want 2 kids. I'm like, yes. I was like, I can't wait to run home to Carter and tell him that we're having 2 kids because the fortune teller said so. And of course I told him, and he was like, bitch, what? I said, you heard it. We're having 2 kids. That's it. Anywho, and I'm like, amazing. Love it. And she's like, okay. And then this is where, it was really quick because there were a lot of people at this event, and I'm sure I'm like missing parts now. This was like 12 hours ago at this point, and my brain can't keep everything in. But she starts going in and she was like, okay, you're planning a wedding. And I said, wrong. But of course I didn't say anything. I'm like, I'm just like nodding my head. She's like, you're figuring out planning the wedding. And she's like, And she's like, this is coming from a place of love and I'm not trying to be negative, but your mom. And I'm like, oh God, let's talk about my mother. Let's talk about it. And she's like, it comes from a place of love, but you know, she loves attention. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say she loves attention, but like, whatever. Anyways, she's like, so, you know, of course, weddings, like it's going to be a lot and she might, you know, act out a little bit, but it's not from a bad place. Like she loves you. She really loves you. But, you know, the attention seeking and she's just, you know how she is. Like she will create some drama, but it'll be okay. Just like handle it with grace. I'm like, okay. And then, okay, I thought she was going to wrap me back in. She almost fucking had me because she goes, you have wanted to name one of your kids after your grandma. And I'm like, yes. Like I always mentioned to Carter, I'm like, it would be iconic to name one of our kids LaDonna. First of all, the name LaDonna, amazing. But like, obviously my relationship with my grandmother, LaDonna, is like my favorite, most special relationship in my life. And I'm like, yes. I do. I really do. And I said, but I don't think it's going to happen because my fiance is not really digging the name LaDonna. Not that he doesn't dig the name, but like, and I get it. It is a little bit out there, but anywho, so I said that and she was like, okay. She's like, well, you will, you know, you'll pass something along from your grandma to your kids. And it's like, okay, no, fuck. But then she goes like, your maternal grandmother, like your mom's mom. And I said, wrong. That's Gladys, bitch. But of course, I'm just like nodding my head. And then that was that. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Bye. And then I literally peaced out. I said, okay, I've seen what I needed to see. The future is looking bright. Gotta go. Okay. And that was pretty much it, honestly. I obviously chatted a lot, did the whole thing. Oh, and this is what I wanted to mention to you guys. I want to talk about astrology really quickly because here's the thing. If you believe in astrology, that's fine. And I think that here is what I am. I am a Taurus. Okay. And I want to read what a Taurus is. Okay. Taurus is April 19th. Wait, to May 20th? I thought it was the whole month of May. I thought that signs were the months. Oh my God. Wait, what? April 19th? Is that right now? What day is it? It's like April 24th? It's not the whole month? Oh my God. Y'all. Anytime I've ever spoken to somebody about these months or these signs, I always thought it was the whole month of May. It's not. Okay, well, anyways, now I know that. I'm not going to remember that, but I'm a Taurus. Apparently that's not. Let's Taurus personality. Okay, I'm like a little bit shocked by that. Anywho, Taurus individuals are known for their grounded, steady, and reliable nature. They are often described as hardworking, loyal, and emotionally strong with a love for luxury and sensual pleasures. However, they can also be stubborn, materialistic, and resistant to change. See, you lose me. And like, I've always heard that Tauruses are stubborn. Like that's what people always say. Like when I say I'm a Taurus, like people are like, oh, stubborn. And I'm like, I don't think that I am. And this is number one. I just don't believe that everybody born in the month of May is the same fucking person. And I know that people then go into like your big five and your rising and your shitting and your sun and your moon and your stars and your fucking whatever. But like, also, any single person, like, yeah, I'm loyal and trustworthy. Like anybody would say that. Hardworking and dependable. Like, yeah, you mold yourself into these things. I just don't really buy it. Wait, let me look up what is Carter's. I have no idea. Zodiac sign for March. Pisces. Okay, wait, what is a Pisces? I'm sorry, I'm just doing a little. Wait, Pisces personality. Thank you. Pisces, the last zodiac sign, is known for their compassionate, creative, and imaginative personalities. Carter is like the least. No, he's not creative, but like he's not creative. They are highly empathetic. No. I love Carter with all my heart. He is not empathetic and sensitive to others' feelings. He is empathetic and sensitive to me, without a doubt, 1000% over the top. Anybody else? No. And that's like his biggest downfall, like with his family. Like he gets in a lot of trouble because he's very just like black and white and just like not very caring of others' feelings. Often prioritizes the needs of others over their own. Again, mine, yes. Anybody else's? Absolutely not. Y'all, he called me this morning. Oh my gosh. He literally just called me and told me that he got into like a road rage situation and this guy ended up bumping his car. Okay, like literally they ended up stopped at a light and the guy like gave him a little love tap. So Carter was like, pull the fuck over. Like he's like, I didn't think that there was damage, but like that is not okay. And so he said, because he was on his way to work and it's like 4 minutes away, you guys. They pulled over, or no, they were like in the middle of the street, apparently, at like a red light. I'm like, oh my gosh, Carter. Because Carter is very big on like, I've told you guys this, moral right and wrong. Like he believes deeply that people need to know like what is right and what is wrong. And like that, for example, is not okay. And therefore he's going to teach this person a lesson, just like explain it to them. Similar, do you guys remember in Montana when I told you him and his dad, like we got into this fight with that guy that was fishing who told me not to eat because of the bears? Like they are just very, him and his father are big on like, no, this is public land, we can eat. You don't tell somebody that they can and cannot eat when you're on public land with us. Like that is not correct. Like just by fact, by law, not correct, right? And they are just like very big on explaining to people and making sure that they know what is right and wrong. And essentially Carter said they got out of their car and they were talking and it was like an older gentleman, like his dad's age, like in his 50s, and they kind of like, they didn't get into it, but like the guy was like, you didn't do this or whatever, when Carter was totally in the right, because that's the thing, Carter like lives by the law. Hello. And Carter was like, whatever you want to believe about that. Like this guy like went manic and fucking like tried to run him off the road and like merge off of him and, or like merge into him to get Carter to like run off the road. Like it was crazy. And also you're like a 50-year-old man. He's in like a mid-size, like a Toyota 4Runner or something of that nature. And Carter is in his little Civic. And eventually they spoke a little bit and then, you know, they came to agreements like, okay, this is like so out of line. Like, why the fuck are we acting like this? They shook hands and they got into their vehicles. And then Carter said, we drove off. Both of them went into Carter's parking lot. The guy works at his building. I'm like, what the fuck are the odds? Like, I get it. They're on the same street, like heading in the same direction, but like they're downtown. Like there are so many businesses and so many buildings. He's like, he followed me down into the underground garage of our building. That's insane. That's literally insane. Okay, anyways, how did I get here? Okay, so Pisces are also known for their dreamy and romantic natures. Correct. Now that's on point. And they often have a strong intuition and spiritual connection. Wrong. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, that is not Carter at all. The romantic part, yes. The empathetic to me, yes, but not in general. And therefore, I don't buy it. And it's like, you then, like the astrology people, if it fits you, amazing, and embody that. But I do feel like sometimes we give ourselves like this description and then you just wholeheartedly like become that. You're like, oh, well, like I'm a Taurus, so I'm stubborn and I'm this, and you become that because you believe that. Like, I think our thoughts like make our reality. So whatever you keep telling yourself, like that is what you then are or become. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to get so intellectual. Anyway, let's jump back. Let's start catching up over the weekend. And what I forgot to tell you last Friday is Happy Easter. I had no idea it was Easter on Sunday. I'm like, Brenna, what the fuck? Easter came around and I'm like, oh my God, I did not mention that on the podcast at all. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's catch up. So Friday. Oh my gosh. So Carter ended up going home for Easter and it kind of was a last minute thing. And I was like, I have this trip to San Antonio and then I had this event last night and this event tonight. And like, I needed to, you know, film and prepare that way for when I'm gone. And honestly, sometimes I just really enjoy having the apartment to myself. And therefore I stayed here. And Friday, okay, I told you guys that we fell in love with this property and it just depends on what becomes available. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I literally told you on Thursday. Friday morning, I've been talking to this AI bitch at the property. I'm emailing back with Samantha, who is an AI character, right? This is not a real person. They respond like within minutes. It's like very much you can tell. So, me and Samantha are friends at this point. I'm like, hi, Samantha, can you please like keep me posted when new properties become available or like new units? And she's like, yes, bitch, I got you. I would really love to speak to an actual person, but until Carter can go in and tour, I was like, let me just keep my eye on and I would love to know. Well, Friday morning, you guys, I wake up and I get an email from my girl, Samantha, and she said, hey, Brenna, 2 units have become available. Unit A, so on and so forth, the cost, the unit. Unit B, this cost, this time, July 25th. And I'm like, oh my God, like that will definitely be able to work because our move date will be August 5th or we'll be out of here August 5th. And typically with apartments, you can ask them to keep the same price but just move the move-in date. Like typically every apartment complex has a certain amount of days, whether it's a 7-day hold, whether it's a 30-day hold, where if you go online, and I'm not sure if everybody else uses RealPage, but oftentimes in Dallas, most apartment complexes use RealPage. And RealPage is an application where when you apply, it's like this page that pops up that shows all the units they have available, and you click on the unit that you want, but then you're able to move the move-in date on there, and then it'll show you like a 10-month lease, 11-month, 12, what the price is. But typically when you move the date, so like if, for example, this apartment becomes available July 25th, if you move that to August 5th, oftentimes the price goes up. But what you do is you talk to the leasing agents and then you ask them if they can hold, and typically they can hold, I would say on average 2 weeks is a soft spot, especially for sure a week. And I'm like, okay, if it's July 25th, they'll definitely be able to keep that same price, but just move it off a week. And then we can move that first week of August. I'm like, oh my God. So I go online, I look up the unit and it's gorge and it's like newer. I think these were built in 2023 and I think they became available in 2024. So they're like brand new. It's 2 bedrooms. It's like 1,500 square feet. It's a yard. It has a yard, 2-car garage. It's a little above the price that we were wanting, but like gorgeous. However, online, I'm not able to see everything. Like I'm not able to get a good tour of the unit itself because I told you guys this property has a bunch of different properties and locations and each one is different within their finishes. And on their website, like oftentimes for one of them, like they'll have virtual tours on their website, like the Matterport, where you can literally go through. If you've ever been on an apartment search, you know what I'm talking about. And this exact property has none. There is not a single 3D tour because I think they built them and then had people in them right away. And so I'm going on like different sites and things and I'm able to piece together a few photos. Like, of course, they have some photos, but again, you don't know the floor plan, so on and so forth. And like, to me, I don't really give a shit, but I know Carter is going to want to see it. And I'm like gathering all of these photos and I send it to Carter. I'm like, oh my gosh, here's the price. Here's the square footage. It has a yard, so on. And he's like, oh my gosh. So he calls me and we're talking about it. And I'm like, okay, I need to get more information, so on and so forth. I call them and did I get an answer? Oh, I got an answer and I asked her to send me photos. And this was at like maybe 11 or noon. I didn't get back. I call again like an hour later. I get a different girl and she's like, oh yeah, she's on a tour right now, but when she comes back, she'll send you those. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm getting really excited about it. I'm like, babe, this is amazing. And we should lock this down because number one, it's our move date. I'm like, here's the problem. Like more can become available and there might be something good that's a better price, but like we just have no idea. So I'm like, if we love this and could lock it down, I think we should. And anywho, the day goes on. My cousin Lauren calls me at like 3:30 and they didn't have school because she's a teacher. It's Good Friday and she was driving somewhere like 2 hours. We talked for like an hour and a half, just catching up. I'm trying to figure out when I want to come up and see them, so on, so forth. And it's like 4:30 and I'm like, Lauren, I'm going to let you go. I realized that the place closes at 5. I'm like, I'm just going to drive over there. It's like a 5-minute drive. I'm going to go bust down those doors. I just want to see it because it's going to be Easter weekend. I don't know if they're closed on Monday. And if we can lock this down, let's lock this fucking down. And I go in there and I'm like, hi, I'm the crazy bitch who's called 3 times and emailed. And I talked to Samantha, your AI bitch, all of the time. I just want this information, right? And she was so sweet. And we sit there and she goes through the photos. I'm like, are you still able to send some to me? Because my partner is going to want to see them. Like, he needs to see it. He honestly, I wish he was here because he is way more picky than I am. Like, I would sign on the dotted line right now. And she sends me the photos and I gather the information on like the application fee and so on and so forth. And I explain, I'm like, you know, we don't need this spot, but we're just kind of like looking and we want to set up a tour when he gets back, whatever. Well, I send it all to Carter and then like, I don't think he's really processing. Like, I've told him, you know, the whole situation about them becoming available and the price is going to change and like this and that. And yeah, something might become available, but we have no idea. And like, this can get leased at any time because it's on the market now. You know what I mean? And at one point he was like, oh, then let's lock it down. But I'm like, babe, I know you really want to see it. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, knowing that like if we sign and then it's not what you expected or not what you would have wanted and something better comes along, I don't want that pressure on me. And he's like, well, babe, like, I trust you, it'd be fine. But I'm like, no, let's just wait. And I don't love the price either. It wasn't in our original not price point. So we're trying to stay under something, but like, we have, you know, this max of what we're willing to pay if it's like amazing, right? It's like not that close to the max price, but it's not like groundbreaking. I mean, I love it and the finishes are incredible and it's like brand new. There's only been one tenant in before. And oh, Liz, my girl, she told me that the people in the unit, because it was brand new, they're paying like $4,000 for this unit because it was brand new at the time and the market in Dallas has been so crazy. And that's not what it is. It's actually lower, but like, they're at that price point because they were the first ones to live in there. So obviously it was more expensive. And I'm like, damn, they got fucked. And I feel like more will become available because they're all paying that price. You know what I mean? Like, I would want to move too if I was paying $4,000. Or people that are in a townhome are probably also in the position to hopefully buy soon because I feel like you kind of inch towards that. Well, anyways, we don't end up getting it because I want to like go tour and I want to see other ones with Carter and like, it'll be fun and there's no pressure. Like, we'll figure it out. Therefore, I called my girl again just a few days ago and I scheduled a tour for next Saturday because I'm gone this weekend, which is super bummy because I want to go see them ASAP because they didn't the day that I went in have one available, but one became available and is able to tour at that property, which again, if it gets leased, like we won't be able to see it, but it's fine. We'll just have to like make our best judgment call, you know, but that's a really exciting and I'm getting really amped up and I keep checking every day to see if it's still available and it's still available. But that was Friday. Saturday, okay, I had a little event at Dillard's. I went on a 4-mile run that morning. I grabbed a nice coffee. I strolled on back. I go to Dillard's. And it was like this shoe line. The creative director was there. I met him. It was amazing. And okay, let's talk about this coming weekend. I have the Ulta Beauty World event. And I got the itinerary from my manager. Friday night, we fly in. I got my flights. Oh, they put me on, I don't know if it's business or first class, but I'm in like one of the first rows. I'm like, yes, love that, which I think means that I get a free checked bag, which I never check a bag because I'm the lightest packer ever. But the thing is, with these brand trips and going to Ulta Beauty World, I think I'm probably going to get a lot of products and therefore I'm just going to need space, if you know what I'm saying. So that's amazing. But anyways, they sent over my flight. So I fly in later on Friday. Like, actually my flight's not till like 3 or 4 and I get into San Antonio an hour later. It's an hour flight and that's also bummy. Like, I'm business or first class and it's an hour flight. Like, before we even get to the top, we're going to be coming back down. Lame. But I digress. Anyways, we get in and we're staying at this nice hotel, and I haven't got all of the specific details, but I'm imagining there's a private dinner on Friday night and it's cocktail, and the attire is cocktail but in the colors of these certain Sally Hansen nail polishes, because obviously I'm going with Sally Hansen, and they're like neon. Okay. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to get a neon. They said you don't have to, but they're like, preferably like this color wave, cocktail attire in this. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have anything that's like neon, right? I'm like, I'm going to need to get a dress. Therefore, I'm going to Dillard's. I'm like, Dillard's has such cute stuff. Honestly, I love Dillard's so much. The Gianni Beanie stuff is amazing. Antonio Melanie, amazing. Like, they have such cute lines, and also the shoes are amazing. Like, I love Dillard's. Well, I go, and this Antonio Milani, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, they have, and also Sanctuary, that event I just went to last week, they're in Dillard's. I actually also noticed them in Nordstrom, which I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. But this line, the Antonio one, they have a ton of neon stuff. Like, I walked into Dillard's and like cute stuff, like the matching like tank and skirt sets and like dresses and so much. I'm like, this is perfect. Like, one of these will work amazing. Well, I try some stuff on and I found this green like tank top dress. Do you guys know what Odd Muse is? Oh, it's not really like that. It doesn't flare that much, but it's got buttons all the way down. It kind of is like one of those like looks, not like a suit because it's like a mini dress, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like the tank top comes high across the neck. It's a short sleeve. Then it just goes down. It's mini, but it was like long enough that it was appropriate. It's a really nice material. I hate when I trip over my words. Does it bother you guys? Anywho. It has buttons down the front. It was so cute. Well, I'm like, okay, I did that first. I'm like, let me just walk around the mall and then I'll come back. And I was also deciding kind of between this bright pink midi dress that I put on, but the pink midi dress was like, it was a little bit tighter. It wasn't like bodycon per se, because it was kind of like a cotton linen material, but I'm like, is linen an appropriate material? I don't know. Anywho, let me go shop around. So I shop around. Y'all, I leave Dillard's. There are puppies outside of Dillard's in the mall. Some sort of like adoption center. What do you call that? I think for dogs. Brenna, what is that? Like, shelter. I don't know. Anyways, all I see is puppies. Okay, up for adoption. And they're sitting in these little cages. I stood there for like 30 minutes. I said, oh my gosh. I texted Carter. I said, I might come home with the dog. Love you so much. Have the best day. But I didn't end up getting one. But like, I walked over to one and the girl was like, that one's already adopted. I'm like, okay, but can I just look at it? I get it. Like, thank you for telling me. But like, can I just take a little peeky at this dog? Anywho, I walk around the mall. I go to a few places. Nothing's really, suiting my fancy. I come back to Dillard's. The dress, the one I got was green, or the one that I wanted to get was green. It was a size 6, right? It fit me, but I was like, I feel like maybe I could do a size 4. I go back. I'm like, let me just try on each, and then I'll take the one that fits me. I go back. There's an 8. There's a 10. There's a 12. And there's a 14. The 6 is gone and there is no 4. In the maybe 45 minutes that I was at the mall, it's gone. And I put it back on the shelf. I know that I didn't leave it in the thing because I knew I was thinking about getting it, and therefore I was contemplating it. And when I'm contemplating, I hold them in my hands and sit there for 20 minutes and think really hard with my brain which one I want. So I put the pink one back and the green one back. Gone. Right. I asked somebody, I said, do you guys still have this? They said, I'm not seeing it anywhere. They checked the changing room, so on and so forth. I said, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? I go home because I'm like, it's perfect. It works. I order it online, but I'm like, let me ship it to the store because maybe there's a different Dillard's that has it and they can just hop it on over to North Park. I get a message like a few hours later, your dress is ready. It was in the fucking store. It was somewhere in the store. I'm like, whatever. They hold it for 10 days. I'll go back and get it, but I'm glad I checked that off the list. Saturday on the itinerary, it says business casual, like spring, which I know all we're doing is like essentially going to the Ulta Beauty World, which is like this big convention where we'll be walking around talking to brands. So I'm like, okay, that, you know, I can kind of wear whatever. I could wear like maybe my nicer like tan jeans with like a nice tank or shirt. Like it's super cash. Like nobody, and also nobody's monitoring. Nobody actually gives a shit. But I'm like, okay, is this when I went to Anthro? I think that I did go in. No, because Anthropologie, I've never bought anything from Anthropologie in my life. Do you hear me? In my life. I do bop around in there, but everything's like kind of expensive and it's kind of like Free People where it gives like hippie vibes and like that's just not me, or should I say boho, and like I just feel like that's not my thing. Anyways, I'm like looking around, whatever. So that's Saturday. Sunday is Easter and I go and see Natalie and Ryan. It was so good. I go over there at like 6 p.m. They made me dinner and actually it's amazing. And I need to ask her for the recipe. All it is was like ground beef, sweet potatoes, and a green of sorts, green beans. And we just caught up. I asked them about their wedding venues. Okay, so they had the 2 tours. They had a tour on Tuesday. They were supposed to have a tour on Friday, but Natalie couldn't make it. They've only gotten a quote back from one. I'm like, what the fuck? You went and toured. And they're like, no, they will not give up that information until you like know for a fucking fact that you're gonna have your wedding there. And I'm like, that is so crazy. Honestly, shame on everybody in the wedding industry. And I get it that they have to do what they have to do, but like, what are we talking about? Put the prices online. So you're just wasting your own time. Like, here is the thing. And I'm sure they're like, I understand sales and I understand these kinds of things, but like, I feel that if you just were transparent and put like a rough estimate on your website, then you would only get people inquiring that like have that budget. And like, but the thing is, they can fucking gatekeep and not put their price, and then they can like pin you with a crazy number, but it's like not out there. Like, I understand from their standpoint, they want to get as many people in. That way, like, if somebody falls in love, then maybe they'll go up on their budget and pay for the venue, but it's like so annoying. They got one quote back, which is actually crazy. It was for everything included: food, tables, DJ, photographer, which wouldn't you want to pick your own photographer? And of course, the packages can be changed. Like if you wanted to do your own this, that, or the other, whatever. But like everything included, the venue, so on, so forth, whatever, $30,000, which when we're talking about everything included, I feel like that's not bad. I feel like that's actually not terrible. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, I spoke to somebody at the YouTube event last night. And she casually said in the thing that, oh my gosh, we were standing in line and I was telling her how we're eloping. And she's like, we're still paying off our wedding. She has 2 boys that are 4 years old, twins. They are still paying off their wedding from 5 years ago. No. What? Absolutely not. She's like, I wanted to elope, but my husband. I'm like, the fucking husbands are running this shit and they have to stop. They have to stop. What are we talking about? But anyways, let me chill out. $30,000 for everything included. I feel like that's not bad, which is crazy. Criminal. $30,000. Like, we've become so normalized and so just like used to these crazy prices. So I think they're actually thinking about it. I didn't see any photos or anything, but they were like, yeah, they still have quite a few. They have like 3 or 4 other tours that they want to do that they're still setting up. I'm like, oh my God. I just like, if anything solidified our choice and not having a wedding, it's like hearing all of this crazy shit. But anywho, and I feel like Natalie looked at me and she's like, I really hope we end up eloping. And she's like, I feel like Ryan, after seeing that, like, you know, it's a possibility, which I don't think so because their families really want a wedding and they have a ton of friends. They have put together a guest list. It's like 200 people. And of course you trim it down, but like just bare bones. I'm like, oh my God. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyways, we caught up. That was amazing. And then Monday rolled around and we're back at it. Normal week. I'm trying to think what happened. I've been on a Chelsea Handler kick this week, which I watched her. Actually, I talk about Call Her Daddy. Some of the only episodes I've watched are Chelsea Handler, and I've never like known anything about her, but I watched one episode of her and fell in love. Like, I feel like I low-key am Chelsea Handler. Like, if I didn't meet Carter and get married, I feel like I'd be her. Like 50, never married, no kids, like living my best life. I don't think I'm a comedian by any means, but I just feel like everything that she says, I'm like, agree. Like, I love her so much. So I've been watching her on so many podcasts. Like, when I'm doing things, I have it on my YouTube and I'm watching. I've told you guys, I can't listen to podcasts. Like, I can't do multiple things. Like, I have to be sitting. So it's typically when I'm doing my makeup. Oh, I also, okay, me and Carter, I think last week, or maybe it was when he got back, I'm not sure. Black Mirror on Netflix came out with a new season. It's like 7 episodes. If you don't know what Black Mirror is, which I feel like everybody knows, it is a show on Netflix, and you don't have to watch anything in order. They are individual episodes, and basically like they are futuristic, or like, because it's not real. Hopefully it's not fucking real. But they really bring in like crazy technology and like things that could happen. Like, for example, I remember an episode where people above their heads had like this digital kind of like hologram, and you got points, and like when people met you or something, like people would rate you, and then this would sit above your head. It was like essentially, you know how like that's what Instagram is. Not really, like people think of it that way. I don't think of it that way, but like it's like likes and follows. Like, we think that people are great because they have a following, so it's like that, but like in real life. So like this review thing was like following along, like literally above your head at all times. So like if something horrible happened to you and like people gave you, or like something happened and people gave you negative reviews, like you would have like a 20 out of 100. I don't remember like how it was, you know, what the unit of measure was, but then people would judge you because like you only have a 20 out of 100. So then like those people would be fucking sad. Like crazy things like that, where they like tie in like kind of realistic things of technology, where it then also like gets taken a little far. You're like, oh, this is kind of far-fetched, but it's also like, this could happen. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's like very thought-provoking and like kind of creepy at times. Well, me and Carter we kind of went through all of them and read the descriptions, but you really have no idea what it is. I also remember that Joan episode from last season, I think, where it was like her life was being filmed or something, and everybody was seeing it, or she was waking up and then watching. Oh, now I'm not remembering. But anyways, Carter and I watched the first episode, and it was an episode. I'm not going to spoil it, okay? But I was looking up Reddit stories, you guys, for Monday's podcast. Is coming Monday, and I came across this one on Off My Chest. That's like the name of the group. And it said, I watched Black Mirror season 7. Oh my God, 7 seasons? I didn't know there was that many. Episode 1, and now I want to cancel everything. I just finished the first episode of the new Black Mirror season, and I don't even know how to process it. I feel disturbed, hollow. It got under my skin in a way I didn't expect, and I can't shake it. Okay, I'm not going to take it that far. Like, I didn't even think it was that fucking great. Like, it was interesting, and like, it, you know, it brings up a lot of like good conversations, and it's like, holy fuck. But like, it didn't disturb me. But there were like so many people in this Reddit thread that were like, no kidding, like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, y'all are a little bit crazy, but I get it, because it is a little bit like, oh, especially that one where I'm telling you, where it was like the hologram above the head. It's like, that is kind of how we live. Like, some people feel that way, where like your social media presence is like, it says everything about you. And to be fair, like, oftentimes in this world, and I don't do this anymore, but I feel like I used to in college, like if I knew I was going to meet somebody, I would look them up online, and then you already create like this narrative of that person, or you have an idea of them, and it's like you don't even know them. It's so fucking weird. But anyways, that's that. ACOTAR, y'all, I'm so annoyed, and I'm finally understanding where I went wrong. I am reading, let me pick it up here. I'm on the 4th book, but it's really 3.5. A Court of Frost in Starlight. It's blue. It's 200 pages. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to whisk through this. Apparently, this is a novella. Apparently, this is like a Christmas edition. Apparently, this is like, when like an episode on a show is starting and it's like previously on and it like recaps what happened. Apparently that's what this is. I don't know if it came out in the order that it is in, like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like there's a book after this. Did 1, 2, 3 and 4 come out and then this came out after, but now we sneak it in the middle? I don't know. It's so fucking boring. I have loved every book. I'm there. I love it. I love the characters. I am getting into it. I read at the gym this morning. Now I'm on page 84. It's like 229 pages. But like at the beginning, it was just a recap. I'm like, I literally just read the book. Like, what the frick is this? But like, that's apparently what it's supposed to be. I don't know if like so much time had passed between like the third and the fourth, therefore she came out with this. But I want to finish this because I want to take the next book on my trip. Even though I'm only on the plane for like an hour at nighttime, like I would love to have a new book, because if I bring that with me, I'm going to finish that and I don't want to have to bring 2 books. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, anywho, that's my ACOTAR update. Oh, also, wait, let me mention this really quickly. Carter went to his grandparents' house for Easter with everybody. His whole family was there. And apparently his grandfather was like so upset that I wasn't there, and like actually upset, which I feel really bad about. And this happened over Christmas, which this was like, okay, chill out. We had just gotten engaged over Thanksgiving and, didn't come for Christmas. And he's like, oh, she gets the ring and now she doesn't need to come to the holidays or something. It's like, dude, that was like a month ago. But here's the thing. We went to California and we went to Disneyland in like February, but we didn't see his grandparents because like we didn't have enough time, because Carter worked during the week and then we were only there Saturday. We flew out Sunday, so we just didn't get to see them. It's like, I was just there, but we didn't see you. Okay. And therefore, like, that's why I didn't feel like I needed to go now. I'm like, I just like saw them, you know what I mean? But not the grandparents. And I feel bad because I really do love them. But apparently he brought it up like multiple times. Carter was like, it actually got like kind of annoying. Like he was like really harping on the fact that you weren't there. And I'm like, okay, you don't run my life, right? When I think Carter originally told him that I was going to go home, because I did think about going home. And then with this trip, it just like didn't really pan out. But anyways, I had that in my notes app. Oh, you know what else I did when Carter was gone? I got rid of so much shit. I donated stuff. I threw stuff away. I got rid of some like, just like things that we don't need, don't want, because also finding that townhome, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we're going to move soon, I need to get rid of this, that, and the other. I'm like, let's start cutting back, because when I move, I don't move things, I throw things away. I would rather throw things away than have to move it. Therefore, that's what I do. And so I had messaged Carter. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So you guys know I have a notes app where like I keep track of my thoughts. That way I know what to talk to you guys about and can remember. Well, I decided to start a notes app, or not a notes app, bitch. That's literally what you just said, you dumb fuck. A photo album. Okay. And it's called Podcast. Therefore, I'm going to try my best to screenshot things when I see them, whether it's a TikTok, whether it's a text message, whether it's a comment, and then I can talk about it here. I started that. So let's pull that up. And the one thing I know for sure that I wanted to bring up to you guys is I was going through stuff on the top of our closet, which is where we have all the shit we never touch. And I see a shoebox and I'm like, what is that again? I pull it down. It is Carter's football cleats. I said, what the fuck are we doing with these football cleats? You have not played since college, your first year of college, mind you, because he broke his ankle badly. Why do we still have these? I'm judging. I'm like, buddy, you're not an athlete anymore. And he never touches them and we never talk about them. And we honestly forgot. I knew way back when that they were up there, but I've forgotten. And so I texted him. We had been texting and I was like in the midst of like putting together a donation pile and this and that and the other. And I said, also, I've been doing some spring cleaning / getting rid of stuff. How long do you think we need to hold on to your old football cleats? A few more years? And he goes, babe, with a laughing emoji. I can sense the sass through the phone. He said, clear it out, sweet toots. I said, it's an honest question. I said, I'll wait for you to part with them, but I thought I'd ask. I was like, okay, I won't throw them away because they're nice. Like, they seem rather put together. And if there's an off chance that we could potentially use them, I won't throw them or like donate them. And he goes, no, do it. If I come back and see one personal item of mine, I'll be disgusted. Because he knows I'm literally a psychopath. Like, if it doesn't have a function, if we're not using it, get it out of my face. I don't want it in my house. So I thought that was hilarious. Oh, and the reason it was so funny is because then I'm going through a tub. I have like a big, well, I think it was Carter's, but it's like now full of my stuff, like winter jackets. And like I put my swimsuits up there, which they're down here now. Things that I'm just not using in the meantime. My Sorel boots, like winter gear, you know, for when I go to North Dakota in the wintertime. I pull it down. I'm going through it. My soccer cleats are in there. I said, fuck. Because I'm like, what if I, join a soccer league? Like, what if I do something? Bitch, you're not doing that. Especially now. Like, when I first moved to Dallas in 2019, I did go to that, like, Gaelic football thing that I told you guys about. Did I tell you guys about that? It's like a cross between rugby and soccer. And I wore them then. But I have not played since. So that was 2019. It's like, bitch, get rid of them. No, I kept them. So I have both of our cleats up there, but I'm like, damn, I'm a hypocrite. Okay, the next photo that I screenshotted, this was a TikTok that I saw, which is crazy. And the TikTok itself is like, it just zoomed in and out of this page, but it's a screenshot of one of those wedding websites. Okay. And I don't know if it's hers. I don't know if she's a guest. I don't know if she just found this, but it's theknot.com. There's Zola and The Knot, the websites where people like put out their RSVPs and they have like the bridal party and the FAQ and all that fucking bullshit, which our stories in those things go crazy. Like, I told you guys I made a TikTok once and I got so many like mean girl comments, but my roommate in college who like went through my belongings and like read my journal, that bitch, well, she recently got engaged and married. Well, now this is a few years ago, but of course when she did get engaged, I'm like, oh, let me find this website. And the whole like our story section, it was like paragraphs, but like she kept like making jokes where it was like, there specifically was a part. She's like, I'm still teaching him that his dirty clothes go in the hamper, not beside it. Like, there were all of these digs, which is so fucking Midwestern. Like, the roasting, but it's like, you low-key hate that. And she is like so opinionated. And like, honestly, she was like the worst person to room with. Like, it ended up being a disaster. But I'm like, damn, like, this is like, it's normalized in the Midwest to like roast and do that kind of thing. But I'm like, if you hate your partner, just say you hate your partner. So that made me feel good. I said, oh, I'm glad this bitch is still doing what she always does. Anywho. Okay, let me get back to this one. Wait, also, let me clarify. It's one thing to like jokingly roast, right? Which honestly, I've talked about this a million times. Like, me and Carter don't even do that. He's like very adamant that you just don't do that, which I do like love now. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just like love and peace and blessings. But there is a level, like, I used to be that person that roasts to like a healthy degree, but then it's like you get to the point where it's like everything, it's like, okay, you literally just hate that person. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, this screenshot on TikTok, so it's theknot.com. It says, Angie and Dominic, Friday, September 6th, 2024, location, so on and so forth. At the top, there is a banner and it says, due to the groom's infidelity, the wedding is canceled. Oh my gosh. Number one, that's crazy. But like, if I were in those shoes, I get it. Like, you just want everybody to know. Props to her. And here is the other thing. And I read this in the comments. She's the one, like, girls are the ones that do all of the wedding bullshit. She's probably the only one with the login and the password. Like, he can't do anything about it. Like, it's on there and it's there to stay. Like, he's probably so pissed. But like, you're the cheater. I get it. Like, that would be, if I were him, I'd be like, oh my God, because all of your friends, all your family, everybody, but like, damn. And then it gets blasted on TikTok. At the time that I saw it, this has 83,000 likes. Damn, which means it probably has like 800,000 views. Yeah. And his face is on it. Like, cause the front page has his face. Yeah. That's honestly diabolical. Oh, okay, the next screenshot. I have a video going like mega viral right now where I said he's the hottest man in the world, but then he pulls out his vape. You know what I'm saying? Because vaping to me, not attractive, right? It's going viral. there was a comment, and I understand kind of where this person is coming from. Somebody commented and said it's giving weakness and addiction, which addiction is a literal disease. Like, I don't believe with that. I don't believe in that at all. Bitch, why can't you like form sentences? Like, sometimes I swear I'm not even sure what I'm saying. Okay, addiction is like addiction. That's not something that's just like somebody chooses to do, which I understand that. But my video, mind you, let's always bring it back. I think comments get taken to like a crazy fucking level. I said he's the hottest man in the world, and then he pulls out his vape. I'm not talking about addiction. I'm not, like, literally didn't say anything. There's a girl, and the only reason, because this video at this time had 3,000 comments. I'm not going through any of them, right? Because, like, how would you? Well, people can tag me, and like there's a part in your TikTok notifications where it's like mentions, but this is also people, like, if they repost one of my videos, this notification goes there, and people are constantly, so like it's not often, like I don't always see. Oh my gosh, you know what else I never talk about and influencers don't talk about enough? Nobody tells you that when you become a content creator, you know how many people tag me in giveaways? Like, somebody has a giveaway, right? My followers, they'll tag me in them because it's like tag 3 friends, and they don't want to tag their friends, so they just tag an influencer because they don't think they're going to see. I've tagged in giveaways. I literally just saw one. It was a Lonnie New, some girl giving away a Lonnie New. Somebody tagged me, and they're not tagging me because they want me to know. Like, there are times when women tag me in a video just to bring it to my attention because it's like something that I talked about. For example, I made this video on the butterfly effect, and there was a video now going viral where it's like, I think some of you are, misconstruing butterfly effect and cause and effect, and one of you tagged me and it was like, bitch, this is what you were just saying. Like, yes, no, that's not what this is. People are just using me in this giveaway to like win, and I'm like, what the fuck, don't tag me in this. It's not a big deal, but like, therefore in this column I'm tagged in like so much random bullshit, so like I'll kind of scroll through it every once in a while, and maybe I'll see that I'm tagged in a video. So if you've ever tagged me in something and I didn't see it, it's because there's like so many notifications. Well, this one I saw, so this person tagged me, but it's like in my own video. She goes, Brenna, hi. Clearly you're not monitoring your comments, so I wanted to pull your attention to this. Your video seems to be encouraging people to equate addiction, a well-documented debilitating disease, to weakness? ? I'm encouraging that because I said he's the hottest guy in the world, but he pulls out his vape? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? And this is also the thing. Influencers and content creators, I see often talk about, like, on podcasts and things, how, like, they go to therapy and like hate comments and shit like this. Hate comments and shit like this, I'm fired up about it now because it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? They don't bother me because what are you talking about? You're not even talking to me because that's not even, I'm encouraging people to equate addiction to weakness. How the fuck did you go from that to here? No, I am not. People are having discourse in the comments. So I deleted that original, not her comment, but the comment where it's giving weakness and addiction, because people were like in there and like, because I don't believe in that. But no, I can't monitor my thousands of comments on one video. Be so fucking for, I swear people are just like, clearly you're not monitoring your comments. Give me a motherfucking break. Like, for real. Give me a break. Anyways, those are the 3 things that I screenshotted. I'm going to do better. I feel like, because I always also save TikToks, but then I never go on there. I just need to do better about processing my thoughts and putting them in my phone. That way, when I sit down to film, they're all there. Because I also save a bunch of random things. Like, I save, recipes and things that I want to show Carter. Oh my gosh, my favorite trend that's happening right now, and I forgot to show him, is like, there are people making videos and it's a guy and he's like, babe, like, can I go on a walk with you? Like, how far are we walking? And then it shows the girl and she's like, oh, just 5 miles. And then the guy's like, what the fuck? Because 5 miles. like, I mean, yeah, it's a long walk, but like to a girl who walks like me, like, yeah, that's like an average, like long stroll. Like that's pretty good. But like guys, they're thinking like maybe a quarter mile, maybe a mile. Like once you become a walking girly, like that number just goes up and up. Like me and Carter's Saturday and Sunday morning walk is about 3 miles, which he loves that. But like it's so relatable and it's so funny because we are all the same. Humans are really just all the freaking same and we all go through the same things. But anywho, I think that's my update. Okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Oh, I posted on my Instagram story about Carter's Bar Brie books, which they're not hardcover, they're soft. They're like a working textbook. Okay, and this is the program that he used to study for the bar. So it was like, I think 6 books. Okay, and then 6 coinciding like note cards. Okay, so I had 6 books and then 6 little pouches full of note cards, right? That he paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for, right? And there's a website that it like coincided with, so on and so forth. Well, it's been sitting up in our closet. He obviously passed the bar on his first try. Amazing. He now works. It's been like over 9 months since he took the bar. I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of these, but I don't want to throw them away because it's a wonderful resource. But some of you recommended Facebook Marketplace, but Facebook Marketplace is like the scariest place ever. And it's so annoying to deal with people on Facebook Marketplace and like the back and forth and the meeting up. I have sold one thing. Oh, I take that back. 2 things on Facebook Marketplace. I one time sold a wooden, like I used to have one of those leaning bookshelves, like you know where it's like leaning against the wall and then it's just a bookshelf. I had one of those. I sold it. Looking back, I drove to fucking like Prosper to give this to a woman because I had the Tahoe and she asked nicely. I think she paid me like $40 for the bookshelf. The gas, Prosper, to give you an idea, literally like an hour drive from Dallas to Prosper and an hour back. Like I'm not shitting you. It was like 50 minutes. Why did I do that? Why did I actually do that? Because I was a nice person and that's why I sold that. Well, oh my gosh. I don't know if we've ever had this conversation here like in depth, but as you know, I never had a TV before Carter. In my adult life, I have not owned a TV, right? College and then, yeah, when I came to Dallas, except for the time that I had a roommate. She had a TV. I didn't use it, but like we had one in our apartment. And then I never had one. I lived in my studio at One Uptown, never had one there. I guess when I moved into the mansion with Maydog, there were TVs there, but like in my own personal homes. Well, when I worked at Smart City, right, I was one of the top salespeople and like a few of us got put into a drawing to win like a 65-inch or a 55-inch TV. Okay, this is 2021. This is when I lived at One Uptown. It was the Christmas party. So it was like December or January, you know, because sometimes it falls a little bit later because obviously the holidays are crazy. Wow, I win. Okay, and at first everybody's like, perfect. Like Brenna actually doesn't even have a fucking TV. That's perfect. Like she now has a TV. I take this TV home, this 55, 60, this huge fucking TV in December or January. Okay. And I pack it up into my Tahoe. I pull it upstairs, get on the little trolley. That TV sat in the box in my studio apartment until August. January to August, I did not take it out once. Y'all, I had become so accustomed to living without a TV. I was like, I don't need a TV. I also don't even have Wi-Fi. I also don't even have internet. Like, I don't even think I could work this TV if I wanted to. And I don't want to go through all of that. Like, I just don't watch TV. Right? I shit you not, it sat there. And like, I never had anybody over because my apartment was a studio. Like I literally had a bed. I had that bookshelf. And other than that, I didn't even own a couch. Like it was just my abode. Like I'm like so good at living that way. Like I don't need a lot of things and I prefer not to have things. Well, August comes around and my lease is ending. And this is when I moved into Inwood. And I asked Garrett, I said, would you by chance like need a TV? because I have this like 55-inch TV. It might not work at this point. Like, is it healthy that it's been sitting in this box? Literally posted up against my wall. I didn't have a closet big enough to hold it. The wooden box, or not wooden, cardboard box sat there against the wall for 9 months. I was single at this time. This was my single era from before then and then. And therefore, nobody came up there. No. And therefore, yeah, it didn't really matter. Well, Garrett's like, no, bitch, we have TVs at the house, right? I'm like, okay. I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. I sold it for like $500. Yo, it was like a great, wonderful TV. I sold it for like maybe $400-500, and I sold it to actually some girls that live in my current neighborhood, and it wasn't far from where I was living at the time. It was 3 girls, and they had just graduated, and they had just moved to Dallas, and they needed a TV for their living room. It was 3 of them, so they split it 3 ways. You know, they each paid like $100. They didn't pay me separately. They gave me the money as one, but I drove it, and I will never forget, because I drove it to them literally maybe like 7 minutes away, 7 minutes up the road. And I pull in to their little like front area. You know, you're connecting with them, like trying to plan a time. Like, it's just so annoying. But like, that was a big ticket item, and I didn't buy it. So I kind of just like made $500. It was incredible. But on the way over there in my Tahoe, the air conditioning went out. It is August in Dallas, Texas. It's 100 fucking degrees, and my air conditioning in my Tahoe breaks. No air conditioning. Holy fuck. I got there. Thankfully, it was close. I give them the TV. I drive back. I lived that life with no air conditioning August, September, October, November, December, January. I met the nanny fam. They came and toured the house, remember, because I lived there. They moved in February 15th, and then I started working for them in March, and that is when I got the air conditioning fixed, because I knew those little spoiled brats were not going to live the life that I was living. Because here is the thing. August, September, October were hot. So I was fucking sweating everywhere I went, which I'm always in athleisure. It didn't really bother me. I'd have the windows down, so on and so forth. But then once November and December hit, I didn't need air conditioning. January, February, like here in Dallas, it's like not that bad. It's not hot out. So I was like, fine. But March, now we're like creeping back in. I knew those kids were not, they live a life of luxury. That was not going to be okay. And then I got it fixed then. So I fixed my air conditioning. But then that ended up being such a nightmare, because when they fixed my air conditioning, and my sweet, sweet father, he actually sent me the parts. So he went on, what is that website? Like auto.com? No, it's something else. But anyways, this has happened before where he sent me parts to fix my car. He sent me like the whole thing to get it fixed. And he's like, well, hopefully you can take this to a car place, like an auto shop, and they can use the parts, because that way then you're just paying for labor and it won't be that expensive for you. Well, none of these auto shop places would use my parts, because it's like a liability issue and they just want to fucking upcharge you and like make you buy the things. Nobody would take it. So then I ended up like with this air conditioning. I went and got it fixed. Nobody. I went to multiple places, and at this point I had gotten so annoyed, and all the quotes I were getting was so expensive, and I just wanted it to be done. I just needed it to be done at that point, and I just got it fixed. And then I actually gave the parts to Garrett's dad, who knows what he did, but he owns Copart, which is also like a third party car. I'm like, surely he knows somebody that could take this. It doesn't matter. So I felt bad because my dad paid for that, and then I just got rid of it. But it was way past the date that I could return it. He had gotten it for me like in September. You know what I'm saying? And I pushed it off because I kept trying, and I was like, what the fuck ever. Anywho, I went and got it fixed. Well, when they fixed that, something went wrong. And like a week later, my car overheated. It started overheating. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because the air conditioning, the coolant, it was leaking, or they busted something. And then that was a whole thing. It ended up being like, oh my gosh, thousands, maybe like over $1,000, the air conditioning. And then this car problems are the fucking worst. Oh, that's another thing. Oh my gosh. See, I forget so much that happens, because I called Carter on Friday to talk to him about the townhome. We're not bringing the Tahoe to this new place, right? I want to ship the Tahoe back to my dad because it is his car, right? He gave that to me in 2018 to drive down here in 2019. And it's under his name. And also, like, my dad, again, he likes to use the parts. He has like a million vehicles. He has a use for it. Number two, I couldn't sell that Tahoe for anything. Like, we have no use for it. I'm like, let's just ship it back, which it will be. To ship a car is like $1,000. But I'm like, whatever. It has gotten me through so much. It's the least I can do for my father. That's fine. Well, Carter started getting quotes and he got one for like $700. Therefore, I'm going to try, and I need to ask him about that again, and ship the car in these next few months and then go home at that same time. That way I can retrieve it, because I think you need somebody available to retrieve it. And my dad always works, and I don't want to put that on LaDonna and Gordy. Like, that's so annoying. I don't want to, like, burden them with that. So I'm going to try and, do that, and then hopefully go and see my cousin Lauren and all of the godchildren, or her children, her 3 kids, my 2 godchildren, and make a whole trip out of it. And I need to go see them because it's been since Christmas. But anywho, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I think that's it. I've like chatted your little ear off. This weekend coming up, I forgot to do this last week and I totally forgot about fucking Easter. So I need to do better about that. I'm going on the trip. When you're listening, my flight, I'm going to San Antonio Friday night. I'll be on my plane. I'll get to the hotel, the dinner, Ulta Beauty World. And then Sunday, I think my flight's at like noon, maybe 11. So I'll wake up, hopefully go on like a little walkie poo, and then come back home. And then next week, wait, let me look at my calendar. Oh, Carter has a few doctor's appointments. He has blood work. They asked him to come in because there were a few things that like weren't bad, but she's like, let's just do another one. That way we can compare and go from there. He also booked an ENT appointment. I believe he booked all of these. Yes, ENT to figure out his whole septum issue. Monday the 28th, 30th. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a facial. Yo, I go on my walks, and I told you that we walk past Tosca, the spa. And I told you that we walk past the spa, and they love May, and we always chit chat. And they at first told me, they gave me their card, and they're like, we can do a trade-off, like a story, like she was like, just message and then we can work out all the details, or like you can just come in, obviously. And I'm just really weird about that. Like, I want to pay for things that it's a service, and like I love them and I want to support them. Like, I don't want to get my whole in life, like, it's amazing that I can get free stuff, but I also don't, like, it kind of also feels gross at times, so I was like putting it off. They gave me their card like a couple of weeks ago, and typically, my manager deals with all of that, but I'm like, I know these people personally, so I want to message them, but I also feel weird. Like, I don't want to ask them to like comp it, whatever. Well, I went on a walk yesterday, literally, and me and May went by, and I hadn't seen them since then, because also with her like treat issue, I'm trying not to like give her a million treats a day from all of the people that give her treats. So I also try and like go on different walks at times, but I wanted to go see them. And I stopped by, and it's the Normal Girls. And I was like, I've actually never gotten a facial. Like, we were having conversation. May was saying hello. And she's like, oh my God, let me show you around. And then like, let me give you some samples, and let me give you a sheet with prices. And like, we need to get you in here. And she showed me around. It's beautiful because it's brand spanking new. And there's one girl, Cam, who I love. Like, she's amazing. And she's the one who like I typically talk to. And I was like, no, I want to come in. And actually, Natalie and I had FaceTime the day before, and she was going to Skin Farm. It was a birthday treat to herself. She wanted to get a facial, and that bitch has not answered me. This was 2 days ago now. I asked her, how was it? She's going on like a bachelorette trip this week. She's super busy. I get it. But she inspired me to go over there and like talk to them, because we both realized like we need to take care of our skin. It's important, so on and so forth. And I've always thought about it, but it's fucking expensive. And it's just something I haven't seen as a priority, But anyways, I was explaining this to Cam. I was like, I was just talking to my best friend, so on and so forth. And I was like, I'll message you guys. I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to email you, and I want to get in like a consult, like whatever. Well, I get home, I email them, and it wasn't Cam that answered. It was like the manager there, but I always speak to her as well. And she's like, Brenna, let's just get you in for a consult and a facial. And there are different tiers, but they gave me like it's like originally like $200. Let me actually pull it up. It's called The Works, and I want to explain it to you. Okay. Spa, The Works, like it's brightening and this and that, and maybe you guys will know what I don't know. Okay, exclusive treatments, advanced treatments, signature treatments. There's so many things. pregnancy treatment, but there's like what they have is called like a facial bar. So like those are kind of like the lower tier, just like basic ones. And it's one of those, I believe. Wait, what the frick? Okay, pulling it up. Yep, we're in Texas. Okay, Dallas. Amazing. Don't allow my location. Okay, here we are. Gentlemen's. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, Carter would love a facial. He's so bougie like that, which we love him. Anywho, okay, facial bar, the works. It's at the bottom. Experience the best of what the facial bar has to offer. A combination of purifying, calming, brightening, lifting, and hydrating treatments with lymphatic drainage. Will have your skin ready for anything. So I'm going to go do that on Wednesday. And I'm so freaking excited. Like, I'm just excited to experience something new, but I'm also scared that I'm going to become a fiend and I'm going to want a lot and then I'm going to have to spend a lot of money. You know, that's the other thing. It's like once you commit to it, it's like you're going to start going, you know. But anyways, I have that. And then we have the tours. Oh, that's on Saturday. So we'll talk before then. And next week, we'll catch up about the influencer event. I'm dying to tell you guys the ins and outs, the girls, the situation, the dinner, the photos, the Ulta Beauty Worlds. I'm like excited to go. That way I can recap with you guys afterwards. Like that's literally the best part. But anywho, oh my gosh, this is already so long. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday. Have the best weekend. I'll be posting on my stories. I don't think I'm going to make like TikToks or anything about the event. So just be watching my Instagram stories if you want to keep up. I'll show you guys the room and the events. I'll do my best to like document. Okay. I don't know what that means, my best, but I'm trying my best. Okay. Anywho, you guys are the best. Thank you for being here. Have the best weekend. And then we'll catch up next Friday. But hopefully you'll listen to Monday's episode. Okay, that's all. Bye, guys.